Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Okay, it's a good day. Hope we had a beautiful day. Okay, so this is welcome to Real Estate Matters with the Lady Billionaire Realtor. Okay, so okay. Okay, once again, welcome to the Real Estate Matters with the Lady Billionaire Realtor, where we share information about real estate so that you out there can have an informed decision when you want to invest. Oh, thank you, Nasi Fashion Store, for joining. Thank you. Really appreciate. Okay, we started off a series on last Tuesday because this section comes up every Tuesday. Gem Realtor Limited, thank you for joining us. Comes up every Tuesday, 7 p.m., where we, talk about real estate matters generally, and we pick, topics from all spheres of real estate, and we discuss so that you out there will have an informed decision when you looking at investing in real estate. Thank you, Barrister Manta, for joining. Thank you. Amina Patti for joining. Thank you. I am Havel for joining. Thank you all. Thumbs up here. Okay, and so today, last week we talked about the step-by-step guide to investing in real estate, both for new investors and existing investors. Okay, and so we had a lot of feedback on that session. A lot of people came up with more questions. Well, not on the live video, and we're available to answer all the questions. And so today, I will be talking about winning real estate investment strategies. Okay, for every sphere of life, there has to be a strategy, to go into anything you want to do in life. For instance, even if you're a student, you must have your strategy well planned out to be able to come out in flying colors, like taking time out to read when you're meant to read. After lectures, you study. You don't wait until when it's the exam time. Before you start studying, you might not be able to perform excellently well. And so that is how it is with real estate. Even if you're not ready to buy now, it is important for you to begin to soak in information on real estate so that by the time you are ready to buy, like we discussed last week, you don't rush into it and make a wrong decision. And so that's why we're bringing this Real Estate Matters with the Lady Billionaire Realtor. We'll be picking different aspects of real estate, and that will help us make an informed decision. Thank you, Rita Okoye. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Real Estate Matters with the Lady Billionaire Realtor. And so today we'll be talking about winning real estate investment strategy. Okay, to win in real estate, there are certain, strategies that you must, follow through. You must look out for, to be able to win in real estate. And without further ado, I'm going to just start right away. Okay, investing in real estate, in the real estate market is an excellent alternative, unlike other forms of investment like stocks. Stocks is volatile. You are not in control of it. A policy can come up, okay, just like what happened when Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp just went off. They had a technical problem, and you could see that affected, their shares. Their shares went down. But real estate is not, it's not dependent on, policy or any, economic law or anything that happens because it is tangible. So it is less volatile. Okay, unlike, stocks, crypto. We remember during the time, it was all over social media how Bitcoin came down, and a lot of people had lost money. But real estate is not like that. It is less volatile. Okay, and so one of the strategies to win in real estate is to segment your portfolio. Okay, segment your portfolio. Okay, investing in real estate, you don't see don't see it as just somewhere let's say for instance, a lot of people just put their money. Okay, I have money now, let me just go into real estate, and just put the money there. You must see real estate investment as a business. You must see it as something you're putting in money, and there has to be return on that investment. Okay, so segment your portfolio. Okay, for instance, the whole idea is, if you are buying for instance just land, you can decide to buy rental properties. You can decide to buy, that's when you buy rental properties, I mean you want to put it up for rent or you want to use it for short let. You can decide to buy off-plan property and resell. So yeah, putting your investment in different aspects of real estate. You don't just say, okay, no, it's only land that I'll be buying. So you segment your real estate portfolio, and the whole idea is you are structuring your investment, and you could decide that, okay, now I am. Thank you, Christian, for joining. Thank you. Okay, this is Real Estate Matters with the late Billionaire Realtor, and we are looking at winning real estate investment strategies. Okay, so I started off with my first point: segment your real estate investment portfolio. Don't just buy only landed properties. Okay, for instance, don't just buy only land in Ekpe, or don't just buy only land in Ibejuleki and just sit down and be waiting. You can buy land in Ekpe, you buy in Ibejuleki, you can buy rental income properties, you can buy for flipping purposes. You buy while the project starts, and you sell once the project is ready. At different stage. Like last week I mentioned that when you are going into real estate, you must determine if it's a short-term investment or a long-term investment, and you can segment it such that, for instance, all your bills, okay, for instance, you're looking at retirement, you're looking at, okay, this particular investment is going to take care of children fees. Okay, this particular investment is going to take care of loan repayments. You just segment it, different investment for different projects. Okay, so when you do that as a real estate investor, you would win big. Like I mentioned earlier, don't just go to Ekpe and just buy land and your money is just there. We understand that Ekpe is a long-term project, and so if you do not understand, okay, if for instance, like recently, a client of mine contacted me, and he bought land in Ibejuleki just last year. And he contacted me that he wants to sell the land because he is in need of money. Like I will always say, thank you, Mr. Joe, thank you, Osaze, thank you. Okay, he said he needed some money and he needed to sell. And the truth is, like I will always tell my clients, Ibejuleki and Ekpe is not a short-term investment. Okay, it is not a short-term investment. It is a long-term investment because it is a growing city. It is a new suburb. There are certain things that will happen in Ibejuleki and Ekpe that your property will begin to appreciate. And so it is not, you cannot buy a property in Ibejuleki or Ekpe now, and in the next 6 months or in the next 1 year you want to sell. That might be very difficult. It will not be easy to sell because, number one, though the price would have changed, but the truth is you might not be able to get that resellable value if those economic drivers are not functional. And so I told him that, okay, I'm just going to try and see how to push this, but the truth is you might not be able to sell this property because it is a long-term investment. And so, for instance, you're looking at, I said segment your real estate portfolio. So instead of, for instance, you have a certain amount of money and you have a project, or there's going to be a need maybe in 6 months time or in 1 year time, then you should not put that money in a long-term investment. You should look for a short-term real estate investment where you can put that money, and by the time you're ready to to go along with that project, that money can be available for you to use. Like for instance, we did the buyback promo in one of our estates. It was Ibejuleki, but it was a buyback promo, and so a lot of our clients bought into it, and it was a 6 month buyback. So for instance, you put that money there as a buyback, and some of them have started collecting their return on investment. They make about 1.5 million naira within 6 months. And so because you have segmented your portfolio, you know that this money, okay, by the time I collect it, I want to use it to repay a loan, or I want to use it to sponsor a project or something. So it is very good to win in real estate. Segment your portfolio before you put in money into any investment. Decide if you're willing to wait for a long term or a short term. You want to get your money quickly, then you will be looking at putting it in short-term investment. Okay, essentially this strategy is designed to help you solve problems in a well-defined manner. Okay, in this case you have real estate investment for every bill, both present and future. A lot of people go into real estate investment for different reasons, and ultimately to make profit, because you cannot just say, oh, because I have too much money, let me just be throwing it away. It ultimately is to make profit. Either you're looking at profiting now, that's short-term investment, or you're looking at that investment taking care of something in the future. Okay, so segment your portfolio when you're to win in real estate. Okay, number 2 strategy to win is don't marry your investment. Okay, Raymond Hill said, all marriages are happy. It is the living together afterwards that causes all the trouble. We can agree that when couples get married, they are all excited, everybody's happy married life. But when they begin to live together, they begin to see things that they didn't see while they were dating. Okay, it is normal. Okay, so don't marry your investment. What I mean by this is, for instance, you buy a short-term investment and the market is good. For a client of ours who bought a property, I think I mentioned it last week. He bought a property in Asaba in April, and he just sold it last month, which is October. within a space of time, because he got a good offer. He would have said, I think this offer that I am getting, he got a very good offer. This offer that I just got, maybe I should wait. Maybe if I wait some more, I will make more money. You know, the fact that he got something tangible, it is the best time to sell, because he actually bought it as a short-term investment to resell within a short time, and he made a lot of money. And so, as a real estate investor, to win in real estate, when you buy a short-term investment, don't marry your investment. It is a business. You are you entered into that investment for profit making, and so when the figures are right, you sell. Don't hold on to it and begin to wait, because like recently a client was supposed to sell a house in Benin. Okay, the client is in the diaspora in Canada, one of my clients. And so people were giving him offers, and he was like, I think, you know, he put the house at a particular figure, and he got that offer. He got the offer quickly, you know, just when he put the property in the market, and people started offering, and he was like, if these people are offering me this money, maybe I should take it a notch higher. And he didn't sell. Okay, eventually he has not been able to sell that property up until now. So what happened was, he was holding on to the property and, you know, was not willing to let go. He was holding on to the property. So at the time he was meant to sell, he didn't sell. And, you know, now he's still waiting for the right buyer. At the time the right buyer came, he wasn't ready. And so the right buyer went to somebody else that was ready to sell. So to win in real estate, especially a short-term investment, if the figures are right, don't hold on to it. You sell and, you know, make your profit and move on to the next investment. Okay, so we've talked about segment your real estate investment. Don't marry your investment, especially when it's a short-term investment. If you see that there's profit in it, don't wait. Just put it out and get your return on investment. Definitely for real estate, it's very hard for you to sell below what you bought. It's always on the increase, except for instance like the client who bought into Ibejuleki just January last year, and wants to sell, and you know, he bought a long-term investment, not even a short-term investment. For a long-term investment, you have to wait. Patience is key, and most time long-term investment pays off, because you buy the property, you know, the properties are usually very affordable, and when you want to sell, you sell almost, you know, the what's it called, the ROI is usually, you know, by the time people start telling you, it's just like my former boss where I worked, that was as at 2009, when he bought his land in Royal Gardens, Pinnock Beach was selling for 15 million. You know, but at that time, 2009, you know that from the only major places you get to is Mobile, then you get to VGC. Most of the places around were still scanty. Chevron, those were the popular places. So even Osaka, that's Pinnock Beach, was like, oh, go and live there. And you know, it was kind of mashy. And so he didn't buy. But you know, if you look at it in the long time, 2009, that's like about 12, 13 years. Okay, so now people are selling land in Pinnock Beach Estate for 280 million, 300 million. Okay, so that's a long-term investment. Even though the price was 15 million from 12 years ago, but the current price is about 300 million, 280 million there. So that's a long-term investment. So if you check the, if you do the math, the return on investment is over 1,000. And so most times, long-term investment, they pay over the years. It's just another example is one of my mentors. She's a coach. Fon Ekpo, she told us during one of our conferences how her father bought, a large hectares of land around Ijego. Ijego is in around Festac. You have a lot of tank farm there. At the time her father bought that land, that was in the 80s. So you can imagine somebody who bought hectares of land in the 80s in Ijego. He bought it for very meager sum. They sold in 2018 and the money ran into billions. So that's long-term investment for you. So you cannot buy a long-term investment and you just want to sell now. No, that's not when we say don't marry your investment. I'm not referring to a long-term investment. I'm referring to a short-term investment. Okay, just like the example of the client who bought a property in April. He bought and most times short-term investment, they don't come cheap because they are in urban areas. Everything is already working in their favor. So he bought that property in April and he sold last month at a very good price. He would have, the other person held on to, to the project and is finding it difficult to sell now. Okay, so let's move on. Buy what you understand. Understand what you buy. Okay? The truth is, a lot of projects are brandished at clients, and sometimes some clients don't even understand the projects. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you for joining. Okay, so understand the project before you buy. Sometimes people, just because of emotional connection with certain people, they don't ask the right questions. And so they don't even understand what they are buying. And at the end of the day, it seemed like a wrong investment. You must understand what you are buying. Understand it. And how do you get understanding? Is asking questions. Okay, for instance, there are certain properties, land that you sell, and some people just think that, I can start building now in my land that I bought for 5 million, because the truth is the prices of land is on the increase. So if you get a land of 5 million, you might not be able to do anything there. Land that is worth around 5 million, 7.5 million, you might not be able to do anything there. If you are looking at, I want to start building, you'll be thinking about, let's say 30 million, 15 million, So when you want to buy certain type of land and you say, I want a ready to build land, and you do not ask the questions, what is the development timeline for this estate? When will the infrastructures be in place? Because yes, the land is ready to build, but what is the development timeline? The company might have a different, timeline in their mind. Most companies give like 2 years. And so if you do not know, you say, this Realtor has advertised this land. I think it's looking good, based on the sugar coating that would have gone into, the sales pitch. Okay. And you do not understand, and you just buy, and you discover that after you have bought, you cannot move to site. The access to the road to the estate itself is not accessible. You cannot drive, the trucks that want to bring your sand cannot get to your land. And so you must understand, every project that is brought before you buy. In doing that, you will be able to save yourself, the stress. If, for instance, they say, like for instance, some of the properties we are selling, like the apartment in Shangotedo, the company has said this project, the first set of those projects will be delivered December 2022. Okay, let's say for instance a client do not ask all the necessary questions and the client just buys, like, okay, they said the house will be ready in 2022. So 2022 might mean in his mind by first quarter of 2022 it should be ready, so I should be getting ready to move into my house. So you must understand, before you buy, because you have worked so hard for your money and you cannot afford to go into something that you do not understand. Thank you all for joining a live video. Thank you for joining Real Estate Masters with the Lady Billionaire Realtor. So we are talking about winning real estate investment strategies, okay, that you as an investor have to consider when you to win in real estate, to win it really big. And we started off by saying segment your real estate portfolio. Don't just focus on only one particular aspect of real estate. Explore rental income properties, long-term land, off-plan houses, buy and sell, buy, hold for a while. You segment your portfolio, tie every of your investments to projects. Okay, that's where you would know if you're doing well with your real estate investment. Okay, so let's go on. I said, make sure you understand what you buy. Don't just buy, because of emotion. Don't just buy because the person is your family member. Don't just buy because you just want to patronize the person, because you have worked so hard for your money. Whatever you put your money, it has to be worth it. Understand it, okay? Okay, so make sure you understand the real estate investment project you're thinking of buying. Get all the facts and the background, of the company. The company that is, that this realtor is, who are they? What are people saying about them? What is their records over time? There are a lot of companies. We have so many real estate companies in the market now, especially in this Lekki axis. And I must tell you of this truth, we have been in this system for a while now. A lot of them are just in there for the money. That is the truth. A lot of them are just there. They just take the investors' money, and you don't see any development happening in the estate. Nothing. You're not hearing anything. They just go, once you give them your money, they just go down and nothing is happening. And so before you buy any property, you must check the background of that real estate company. You must check if they have a strong base, financial base, because the truth is, if for instance anything happens, will they be able to stand, and compensate the client? Because the truth is, things might happen. Things might happen because we are in an unpredicted world. But if the real estate company that you have put your money, they don't have a very strong financial backing, you would end up, losing your investment. So apart from understanding what you buy, you must, get information about the company that is behind that project that the realtor is, putting before you, because a lot of people have lost money. We hear a lot of, most time when clients contact us, especially clients from the diaspora, they begin to tell you their experiences, how they bought here and see what has happened. In fact, one of my clients now, he mentioned about 3 companies he bought. He said they have refused to do allocation almost 3 years now, and the property has appreciated. In fact, what the company was doing was they were deducting charges. And so as they were deducting charges, let's say for instance, initially when they bought, it was 600 square meters. So while they were deducting charges, the land was reducing. So don't just, go into any investment without, apart from understanding the project, if it's a long-term or short-term investment, the company behind that project. Do your own, assignment. Go and do your own assignment. Okay, so I think yesterday I closed the sale. 2 properties one of my clients bought. We have talked. I've gone to the site and giving him everything that I need to give him that he needs, and he has made up his mind to buy the property. In fact, he has paid about 50% on the 2 properties. But despite the fact that he trusts me as his realtor, he reached out to the company, to get other information, to see that, okay, what Mercy has told me is what the company is telling me. So don't just, he went, online to check out the company because he's not in Nigeria. He checked and he came back to me and he said, Mercy, I called though. Gave me all the details. He said he pretended as if he has not even heard about the project. Meanwhile, he already filled his. He already had the subscription for it. He had even made a payment because he made the payment on Friday. He didn't want because the price is about to be reviewed upward. So he didn't want the, what's it called now? The price, let's say by Monday, that was yesterday. He didn't want any excuse. Say then I will not tell him that sir, they have increased the price. So he just paid a certain amount on Friday to lock in the price. Remember one of my videos on off plan? It wasn't a live video, and so he went behind to do his due diligence, checked out the company, checked out their project, checked out what they've done before. So as to win in real estate, you have to do all that so that you can have a proper understanding of what you are doing. Of course, yes, you need your realtor. The realtor, because the location where he's buying, he wants to use the property for short let. And so he told me, please, Mercy, I need this property in this, a location that is perfect for short let. And I got it for him. Despite the fact that I got the location and the price was also good, he still had to do his own due diligence. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Abuja El Pada. Thank you, Queen's Furnishing. Thank you, Finishing. Thank you. Okay, so in order to understand what you're buying, you also have to do your due diligence. Don't leave it to your realtor alone, because at the end of the day, some realtors are more concerned about their commission. They are not concerned about the client's investment. So you must understand. And how do you understand? The company that is behind that project that your realtor is recommending to you, go and look at them, check them out, see what people are saying about them, see what project they have done, check out their financial standing, and then you can decide to go into that investment. It tells you that when you go into that investment, you would eventually win. Okay, so let's go further. Okay, so number 4, like I said, I was mentioning, get the right amount of information. Don't just buy whatever you see. Get information, the location of the property, where it is located. In our last Tuesday live session, we talked about if you're looking at a rental income property, you have to be sure that the area is a low crime area. You don't have a lot of crime there. What kind of amenities are in the place? Is the road accessible? Get the right information, because it is your hard-earned money. You need those information to be able, to make the right decision so that your investment don't go down the drain. Okay, so look out for signs of value from the real estate company. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, the financial standing of that company, it matters a great deal. Okay, it matters a great deal. You know, at times, especially for land investment, but now we don't have that happening except when you buy a decision in progress property. And I always advise my clients to always, you know, buy property that has at least a cession, because when a property has a cession, the government is the one that has assigned that property, that parcel of land to the family, and the company would have bought from, you know, the family. Okay, so for instance, some companies, when there's a problem with that property, they reassign clients to another estate. But for a company who do not have the financial backing, that's when you will hear that the jackpot, their office has moved. It's not as if they actually want to run away, but because they do not have the financial backing, they are just in there. Oh, everybody is doing real estate, let's go into real estate and make money. Okay, so watch out for, you know, the value. You know, assess their financial stance, the financial stand of the company. Check out what they are doing, what do they have on ground in case of any eventuality. Can they, you know, would they be able to compensate investors? You must look out for all that, you know, to win in real estate. Okay, and so that's all that we have for winning in real estate investment. So if we have any questions, I will take questions now. I will take questions now. I've said a number of things. Segment your real estate investment. Don't put all your money into one sector and, you know, you leave the others. If you're a starter, you know, it makes a lot of sense. But if you're a regular investor, it is wise to segment your portfolio, spread it across all sectors. You know, buy rental income properties, buy off-land properties, and buy properties and sell. You can buy properties that are near completion, and, you know, by the time they are ready, you put your mark and you sell. Don't marry your investment, especially when you buy a short-term investment. Don't hold on to it. Okay, when it is time to sell, if the price is good, if the offer is good, you take it. Okay, and we also said understand what you buy. In fact, the truth is, if you don't understand it, it's better not to buy. Before you make that buying decision, make sure you understand it. You know, assess the value of the company behind every real estate investment you buy. Check out their financial capacity. Check out what they have done before. What are people saying about them? Are they reputable? Do they deliver on schedule? You know, you have to put all that into consideration. Then get information of the location. What is the delivery timeline? You know, you need all those information, you know, so that you don't end up putting your money in a wrong investment. I was speaking with one of my clients. I respect her so much. I call her mommy. And, you know, she bought an investment that, you know, has tied down her money. And, you know, she wants to sell, but the truth is, you know, you cannot there are certain real estate investment that you cannot recommend, you know, even to your enemy, you know. So, you know, when you don't get enough information, those are the type of things that happen. Your money will be tied down, and it's supposed to be a short-term investment. So if you're making a short-term investment, there are so many things to consider before putting your money in a short-term investment. You have to, the location must be perfect, the neighborhood must be perfect. Like one of my clients told me that he was supposed to buy a land in somewhere around Maryland, Mende area, but the setting was, it was a kind of mixed setting, and if he puts the kind of property he wants to put there, it's just like living like you are the only king in that environment. So it's not just about the location, what is the serenity, the neighborhood, the aesthetics of the environment also counts when you're making a real estate investment. Thank you, Homeland Africa, for joining us. We are just running up, so I'm taking questions now. So if you have any questions, please let's have your questions. Okay, and so if there are no questions, you can drop the questions on the on the post, because I'm going to put this on, share it on my IG. I'm also going to post it on my YouTube. So for my YouTubers who didn't join us live here, you can always drop your questions, and we will be glad to answer every one of your questions. And so thank you all for joining me this evening with the Real Estate Matters with Lady Billionaire Realtor. Remember to join us next Tuesday 7 p.m. for Real Estate Matters with the Lady Billionaire Realtor. Thank you all, and please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all our social media platforms, contact us for your real estate investment. Integrity is our currency, that is our mantra. We put all the cards on the table, we tell you how it is, and we do not compromise. We don't hold back information. We tell you how it is, so that you can make an informed decision. We are not selfish. We give you the right information, and we recommend the best. We work with the best real estate partners. We have worked with them over the years, and they've delivered on their word. Our clients who have invested in these companies, they are happy with their investment, and so we would love to work with you if you have not started working with us. Okay, so thank you all for joining me this evening, and please keep staying safe. Bye bye.